You may be wondering what I'm doing here.
At the start of another marathon. It's been a wild last 7 weeks. Let me fill you in. As many of you know, I raced my peak spring marathon at McCurdy Micro at the end of March with a 2:22, got a new PR of 2:32:44. Took about 2 weeks to edit the film. It was released on April 12th.
In that time post-race, I took an entire week off running, keeping the legs moving with a good bit of walking still, trying to get 10,000 steps a day, encouraging that blood flow. Right after the race, I made a short documentary with Cyrus about my running story in partnership with Path Projects. I'll link it here and or down below. The mileage after McCurdy looked like this. Week 1, off. Week 2, 31 miles. Week 3, 21 miles. Week 4, 29 miles. Week 5, 38 miles. Week 6, 67 miles. And week 7, 84 miles.
And I'll explain why I ramped it up. So hard in the last 2 weeks, so stick around.
Shot some commercial video at Wrigley Field for Coca-Cola with my friends. That was cool.
Felt the marathon blues, so I sang this song.
And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me, I was in it. I wave goodbye to the end of beginning. Goodbye.
Ran more on the new treadmill. More on that soon. Stick around. Went to the first Cubs game of the year with the boys. Got a game ball. Paced Kyle on a workout. This is the first sort of speed work I did since McCurdy. That was on April 10th. Y'all went crazy with the McCurdy race video comments. Much love.
Sold my old treadmill to Jason. Hi, Jason.
Spent a lot of time with the kids because my wife was getting her certification for yoga instruction, and a lot of family time all together doing a bunch of fun things.
I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and drove to Carmel, Indiana to support my athletes at their marathon, except it got canceled due to inclement weather. Right call, sad outcome. So many of them pivoted and crushed their own races, so shout out to all my athletes who did that. And then Cyrus went to Boston to shoot a short documentary with Rob Dalto of Pursuit of Performance. I directed it from afar. It's now live on his channel. It was an honor to do that piece with him. So if you like Boston, anything around the Boston Marathon, definitely give that a watch. I'll link it here or in the description.
Then I went to Austin for the incredible Camp Film Festival where I was honored to speak. Got a few runs in there and left massively inspired to film and make more meaningful things.
But when I got back on April 29th, we had one of the scariest days we've ever had as a family. Our youngest was struck in the head on accident by our oldest with a baseball bat. And he had a large laceration from the top of his eyebrow to the bottom of his eye on the side of his face. So we went to the ER, and they actually ended up transferring us into the city so an ophthalmologist could see him and check his eye. And so it left us all day wondering if there was more damage. We knew he had a small skull fracture, but we were reassured once we were transferred to the new hospital at Lurie's that it would be fine, that it would mend on its own, and that his eye was 100% intact and okay. So it was a huge sigh of relief, and all that we needed to do at that point was do like 15 plus stitches on the surface here. And then we were able to go home that night. And I preach this message often, if you've been around here for a while, that none of my running matters if it takes me away from my family. So during that time, I was not running in the chaos of that day and around that, and just making sure that I could spend time with him and assist my wife in helping watch the other kids and make sure that we were just all good on the family front. Great news, he's doing amazing. He's here on this trip with us right now, and he's recovering very well. Stitches are all out and everything, checkup appointments, all thumbs up. So we're very grateful.
Since then, I wrapped up editing those 2 commercial projects I had mentioned, and we went to 2 more Cubs games with the fam, got another game ball, lucky boys, and then I paced Kyle in a half marathon on low volume, and I lost a lot of fitness, I came to realize, and totally bonked. Kyle got a new PR, so congrats to him. I have more thoughts on this, so again, stick around and I'll tell you them. Baseball started again for the boys, and last week I edited and posted the McCurdy breakdown video, so if you haven't seen that, make sure to watch that. I painted a wall in my home gym, cleared out all of our bikes, installed a shoe shelf and a retractable TV. Now I can virtually run Chicago whenever I want and any other POV race for that matter. And all of that running in the garage now is on my new Wahoo Kicker Run treadmill. They did give me this treadmill for partnership and sponsorship, but after testing it in the McCurdy build, I knew I wanted one, and I'll be sharing so much more about this treadmill in the coming months. But man, what an incredible and fast machine to be able to have at my disposal on bad weather days or just in my garage or late at night, early in the morning. I'm really stoked to have it.
So after all of this chaos, why did I choose to run 151 miles the past 2 weeks? Well,
I'm pacing Sadler and Scotty. Let's see if I can hang on. You have to.
Scotty and Chris are ready. They've put in all of the work and all the stars seem to be lining up. Weather looks absolutely flawless. So the biggest question is, how long can I keep up 6 flat pace off of essentially 2 weeks of training? And you know, like 8 weeks removed from my peak spring race? I don't know. I mean, the half marathon was bad, but maybe the 2 weeks high volume is enough. We'll find out.
Let's roll it back again. Back to pacing Kyle at that half.
On the way up to Milwaukee, that Cubs game, I actually last minute decided to get a bib for the next day to pace Kyle for this half marathon. He had a goal of sub 118, and I thought I would be able to do that, even having not really run any mileage for the past 3 to 4 weeks.
I didn't. Fell apart at 9 and had to coast it in. Honestly, it pissed me off so much so that it totally recalibrated my mindset for what I wanted to do in the next 10 weeks moving forward into June. After McCurdy, I settled into the mindset that I just kind of slowly build volume back and have a good time at grandma's in late June. But bonking like this at this race taught me 2 very valuable things. Number 1, in these new, faster efforts, I lose fitness fast if I don't keep up. Can it be built back up quickly? Absolutely, but I lose it fast with minimal running. Number 2, my fitness is not guaranteed, it's earned. Just because my PR is 112.5 doesn't mean that I can expect to run a 117 when I haven't been running volume. It's a shot to the ego, but proves that times are made by doing the work.
Depressing and encouraging all at once.
Rewind again, 2 weeks prior, before pacing Kyle at this half, I had called Scotty up and told him that I wasn't just wanting to attend Bayshore and cheer them on, but that if I could get a bib, I would pace him. And not having already learned this bonking lesson, I got the Bayshore bib. Then I paced Kyle and realized, oh frick, I have to run a lot the next 2 weeks.
So I got to work.
151 miles in 2 weeks. My base fitness on Coros went from a 66 to 86 in 14 days. For the first time ever, I crossed over the optimized training intensity zone into the excessive one.
And most people say you can't cram for a test, but if you've ever done that, it works sometimes, right? Guess we're gonna find out.
All right, let's see what happens.